on, y'all? Welcome back to Getting Technical. I am joined by Cha. It is just us two today. Raleigh and Sam had softball.
Yeah, they play baseball on the weekdays. It's not bad. It's a Wednesday. We just had the Monday night game, Seattle versus Denver. Russ got silenced, the 12th man came out.
It was, you could see it. Like, they were late on every, they were running down 4-3-2, and, he's clapping, calling a play, and they weren't on the same page.
You can't hear shit.
No,
you couldn't hear
anything.
Shit.
And that was, like, I feel was the main reason for that Javonte Williams fumble on the goal line, because the line got blown off the ball because the guards weren't ready. The center snapped it. The right guard got blown off the ball. Javonte Williams ran right into his back, and I forgot who came and punched it out.
Yeah, the butt fumble 2.0.
Yeah, exactly.
Fucking Mark Sanchez. But yeah, the game was good, of course. Gino looked good. I'm a freaking Jets fan, but Gino looked great. At the end of the day, he was efficient. He didn't turn the ball over like he said he wasn't. Mm-hmm. And Seattle came out with the W. We both clearly lost on our our record. Took a hit, but
I lost a bet too. I took everything was pretty close. I took Judy with the yards, Sutton with some yards, Russell Wilson yards. And then I took Javonte Williams touchdown.
Yeah.
And every time they got to the goal line, I'm like, and I saw Melvin Gordon in a few times, and I'm like, come on, give this guy a ball, and he finally got it, and he fumbles, and I'm just like, bro. They ended up losing anyway. So. Yeah. But what are your thoughts? Do you go for it in that situation, 4th and 5, or do you kick the field goal?
Take the field goal.
So you think it was the right decision?
Always take points.
I'm saying at 64 yards to finish the game.
Dude, you got Russell Wilson.
That's what I'm saying. You got to trust him.
You just paid that man.
It's
Take
week
the
one.
chance.
Yeah, it's
Take
week one.
the fucking chance.
I could see. I don't know. If it's like week 7, you guys are 5-2, or week 8, 5-2. Yeah, maybe go for the field goal. McManus is a reputable kicker. He's pretty good. But it's like, bro, it's week 1. It's Russ back in Seattle. You're not going to put the ball in this guy's hands and make him make a play?
You have to.
You have to.
It's Russell Wilson. It's not, some jabroni. So at the end of the day, you got to let him, put the ball in his hands and let him do what he does. That guy's fucking magic.
No.
Straight up, that guy has God on his side. I always said that. I was like, fucking, I hate Seattle. They have, God on their side. God wants them to win. Yeah. It's they've always pulled it through somehow, some way. Yeah. They've always done it. And I hate it, but what are you going to do? It's a stupid decision, whatever you're going to do. But, hey, it's week 1. That's the best, thing about it. It's just fucking put it in the past and keep it going. But
yeah. Did you see the Coach JB from Last Chance U? Mm-hmm.
He's been shit talking every single person.
Yeah.
I follow him on Twitter, and he
follow
goes
him on
crazy.
TikTok.
I follow him on TikTok.
Yeah, TikTok's great. So he rewinds his TV, and he's like, yo, take a look at this motherfucker. Yeah. And he's like. Russell Wilson goes out to shake hands. Pete Carroll gives him a little
weird hug.
Yeah, bullshit. He goes, this motherfucker's looking for guys. Mm-hmm. Nobody likes this motherfucker.
Dude, I fucking love Coach JB, dude. And he was shit talking Kyler like crazy. He was shit talking really everybody, but it's weird because I was reading through the comments and a lot of people were shit talking. I'm like, oh, this is the reason. They were trying to explain the reasoning, defending the players basically. But I agree with Coach JB. I don't know what it is, but he's got something about him that
bro, the guy played in the NFL, played in arena football. The guy's been a QB guru for 20 years. Yeah, he knows what he's talking about.
If he could straighten his act up, he would be a fucking Division I, coach for that
at a Power 5.
Whatever. Yeah, 100%. 100%. Whatever it is, but
well, that was it was a good way to end week 1.
Yeah.
You couldn't ask for a better game. And
now Thursday night, sorry to cut you up, but Thursday night we just got news that Keenan Allen's out, DeAndre Carter owned by 2% of leagues. You got to pick him up, maybe.
Someone picked him up in our league.
Yeah,
someone picked him up in our league, but
he's getting picked up.
Yeah, Keenan Allen's out. I think the Chiefs are a 4.5-point favorite.
Yeah, 4.5.
So going into the week, I think it's going to be a good game, but I don't know if the Chargers have enough chemistry together yet, especially with Keenan Allen
especially
out.
with their defense as well. They kind of gotta get that, their shit together with that. But
I mean they did decent against
Derek
Vegas,
Carr and Vegas, no doubt. But they still have a lot of shaping up to do with everything. But I just think I was saying it. Patty Mahomes is gonna show out. He's gonna prove everybody wrong. He's gonna take his fucking dick out and smack everybody with it. He's gonna do his thing. He's Patty Mahomes. He's gonna be the next guy.
Yeah, no, I'm pretty upset. I'm pretty regretful that I took Lamar Jackson over Patty.
Yeah,
in our fantasy league.
I mean, clearly for fantasy reasons, it's not like you're picking him over him.
No. I mean, quarterback wise, I'm going Patrick, but it was just tough to look back, and I'm like, God damn,
5 touchdowns, though 300 plus yards, and it's not a good sight to see. I mean, I picked Dameon Pierce, and I think he was my 5th pick.
I picked him in the 6th round.
I picked Cam Akers as my 3rd pick. I'm shitting the bed, right? I got the W. I got Kelsey and JT.
3rd round? Dude, 3rd round, 5th round?
Third round, pick 1. Took Cam Akers.
Really?
There was really no RVs left on the board. Yeah. It's sickening, bro.
I picked Dameon Pierce in the 6th round. I went back and looked who I picked him over. I picked him over a lot of guys, and I'm like, I picked him over Kareem Hunt.
Yeah, well, it's like
tough.
I even was skeptical on that because Jacoby Brissett's the quarterback, won, and Nick Chubb is amazing. Nick Chubb is still a top 5 running back.
And we were getting a bunch of news that Dameon Pierce was going to be a workhorse 3-down back.
It's still
and then
possible,
I'm thinking, I see Marlon Mack get cut, and now I'm thinking like, all right, like he's going to beat out Rex Burkhead. And then Rex Burkhead plays, 70% of the snaps.
The hardest worker in the league, right? He goes crazy. I don't understand. I think that Dameon Pierce clearly has time. It's his first NFL game, but
I don't know about his fantasy value for this year.
You have no idea.
I'm hoping he does all right, but whatever.
I mean, same with the Rams though. They like Darryl. They might just play Darryl over Cam. If Cam doesn't, when he gets his touches, doesn't do anything with it, there's nothing you could do about it.
The running back position is the most replaceable position in the NFL.
No doubt. 100%. I mean, in this day and age, for sure,
100%.
It's replaceable by anybody. I mean, you could sign somebody that'll come and give you 3 yards a carry, and that's all you need.
Yeah. So I mean, we could talk about like our predictions for the game. I'm taking the Chiefs.
Yeah, I'm taking the Chiefs.
I think the Chiefs are going to win. I just think they got too much firepower for the Chargers. And then, we can give our locks. Obviously everyone's into sports betting now.
Yeah,
so.
FanDuel and DraftKings, and
everything.
it's all
even
huge.
What's prize picks is tough.
Steak,
everything.
There's so much.
But my lock for the week, I have Patrick Mahomes, 250 yards plus. I have Travis Kelce, 70 plus yards and a touchdown. I have Mike Williams for a touchdown, and I have the Chiefs money line.
Yeah.
5-leg parlay.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna lock that in tonight, and I think those are very doable. I think Mike Williams will get a touchdown look, especially with Keenan Allen out. It's gonna be a high-scoring game. Mahomes is looking for Kelce, and I think those are two guys that are gonna have monster games. I think Mike Williams had a slow week 1, but he's gonna wake up week 2.
He's still an animal, the deep threat, and just he's still a beast. But it's just sometimes, they have so many weapons and options. It's like how can you just throw to Mike Williams? Like some games he'll have 3 for 15 yards, and then some games he'll have 4 receptions for 120 yards and 2 touchdowns. Like who knows? But my I did a 5-leg parlay as well, so I'm going to let you guys know. I got Patty Mahomes over 2.5 touchdowns. I got Patty over 300 yards as well. Kelce anytime touchdown score. I got Mike Williams 69.5 yards over. I got the Chargers plus 4.5. I think it's going to be a closer game than people expect. I mean, it's a divisional game. It's, they're really the top 2 teams. I know Denver and the Raiders, they have a lot of speculation about them. That's probably the best, that's like a powerhouse division
one of the best divisions in the past 20 years.
No doubt, but I think that it's going to be a lot closer just due to, them have such high-powered offense, scoring at will. They could really do whatever they want to.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it should be a good game. I'm excited for tomorrow. And I think it's going to be a great way to start, week 2 of the NFL season.
Oh, no doubt. I mean, this might be the best game of the year. You never know. It's it's definitely hyped up. I'm so excited. I can't wait.
100%.
Tomorrow night, baby. Let's go.
News came out that TJ Watt does not need surgery.
Only 6 weeks. I'm happy about that. I love watching that guy play. That guy's a fucking animal.
Yeah, he's really good. He's one of the best, edge rushers.
He broke the record last year, 22 and a half.
Did he beat it?
Yeah,
I thought he tied it.
I think it was 21 and a half, and he beat it.
No, I think Strahan still has it. I don't think he didn't beat Strahan. Strahan still has it, I believe.
Yeah. We definitely could fact check that.
Yeah.
We'll get some guy in the back to check that out,
Yeah, Jamie, like Joe Rogan. Yeah,
yeah, Jamie, check this out for us.
Yeah, we don't have that.
It's a lot of these guys are like coming out. They're all getting hurt, and they're I don't know. Like back when we used to play football, pee-wee football. Like I would go to the sideline. Like my dad would just be like, "Hey, like Nicky, like." Give me a little kiss on the lips and get back in there and give it your best. And I would go back in there. I would give it my best. Once our lips touched, the pain would go away. But surely, no, like, obviously that's jokes. But, it's a lot of people are getting hurt. It's crazy. We've seen fantasy teams. I know we're not like a fantasy. We don't get so much into it, but teams are getting derailed already.
Yeah.
It's week fucking 1.
Well, I mean, you look at Dallas. I mean, with Dak Prescott going down, I mean, that hurts the value of CeeDee Lamb, Zeke, Tony Pollard.
Dalton Schultz.
Bro, everyone, and those are guys that have been drafted, I mean, other than Pollard.
Yeah, like
Zeke,
under 7th round.
Bro, easily.
Yeah, easily. No doubt.
And that's like, a lot of those guys are your either RB2, your wide receiver 1, or your tight end.
Yeah.
And, with one guy going out. But that's the thing with football. Like, that's the fun part about fantasy.
No doubt.
Like, you got to make the acquisitions. You got to make,
the moves. You got to know what the fuck's going on.
Yeah.
You can't just fucking go in there, auto-draft the team, and keep going.
No.
But who are they going with? They going to sign somebody? Are they going to stick it out with Cooper Rush?
I'm thinking, if I'm Dallas, bro.
It's only 4 weeks, Dak. Dak is possibly out there trying to avoid surgery, get him back in there, which is awesome. I'm happy they're doing that, but, what are they going to do?
That's what I'm thinking. Like, if I'm Dallas, right, and if I'm Jerry Jones, I'm not going to get Jimmy G.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to go get a guy like Cam Newton. I'm going to get Cam Newton.
So you're looking like for a Huntley guy, the backup for Baltimore, fast motherfucker.
I'm just trying to bring in a guy. Cam has an image. He has a personality. He fits that Dallas aura. I think Cam could come in. He's a vet. He's
gonna put asses in the seats.
Yeah, no,
he's
exactly.
He's gonna make you fucking money. I know it's like weird to look at it as the business aspect, but
no, exactly.
But
Jerry Jones
asses
is
in the seats. Yeah,
yeah, and he can learn an offense quite quickly, and I think he would be your best option because I think he's at the point now where he might be okay understanding a role because he's always had like a big ego, but maybe if he really wants to play again, maybe he can understand like, hey, like
it's not all about me.
This is where I'm at right now in life, in my football career. So I think it'll be a nice look for Cam. I really do. I don't know if Dallas will pull the trigger on that, but I mean, I would rather do that than go and pay Jimmy Garoppolo to be a backup again because you're not going to start Jimmy G over. You're not going to start him over Dak Prescott.
No, and he's not going to just take a light contract. He's not going to, he's probably going to try to get signed for 2 years, whatever, how many million.
Yeah, no, and I mean,
he's a very serviceable quarterback. He's a very good quarterback. I think he can win games. He's not going to take you over the top to win a Super Bowl. Clearly, I mean, he's gotten the chance.
Yeah.
But, he's definitely serviceable. He'll definitely win you games. He's a plug-and-play guy, but I don't think they should spend the money. I mean, they have more fucking worries, in their offense and their own line to take care of rather than pay Jimmy G.
Yeah.
Unless, Dak was out for, 8 weeks plus, it's a little different, but
yeah, no, I agree. But I mean, we're kind of speaking hypotheticals. They're probably just going to rock out with Cooper Rush.
Yeah.
And they're probably going to just, thug it out and try to win some games. I don't know what their schedule really looks like moving forward.
Yeah.
But I know that helps the Giants out. I'm happy as a Giants fan. Like, now it's looking like Giants or Philly, to win that division. And I think the Giants showed that they're not going to be an easy out.
You're gonna totally discredit the Commanders and Carson Wentz, man.
Yeah, they're not gonna. I mean, in division play, they might be competitive, but
Yeah.
I think outside of the division, like, come on, like they went to the wire with the Jaguars. Jaguars are a pretty poor NFL team.
No, of course, but you're more saying they're gonna fall apart, and I agree with you.
I just think out of division, like their non-divisional schedule, like it's going to be rough for them.
Yeah.
You know, in divisional, the NFC East, everyone plays. You know, you play each other twice a year for the past 20 years. Like everyone knows each other. You know, and that's why divisional play is tough. So sure, you know, they might split with the Giants. They might split with Dallas. I mean, they might sweep Dallas. I mean, depending when they play with Dak.
Yeah.
But hey, I think it's going to be. It's a plus for the Giants. And I mean, I'm looking forward to see if Dallas makes a move or if they don't.
Yeah, and I mean, like you said, divisional play. I mean, the Steelers just beat the Bengals that are a fucking nail biter for the whole game. They had
Vikings.
Mitch Trubisky starting, Ben just retired. Yeah. You know, it's anything can happen in these divisional games. I mean, Steelers still own that fucking division. They're gonna beat Lamar twice. Man, I'm telling you.
No. Baltimore's winning that division this year. Baltimore's gonna go 13-4, 12-5. They're gonna win that division. Yeah. Baltimore might sweep Cincy. Baltimore might split with Pittsburgh, and they're gonna sweep the Browns. Baltimore's gonna win that division.
I mean, they're gonna split. They're gonna sweep the Browns. I think.
Bro,
sure.
Think about. I mean, realistically. Joe Burrow threw 4 picks and a fumble, and it came down to a blocked extra point to go to overtime.
Yeah.
Pittsburgh does not have the firepower to win games. I'm sorry, you can't give the ball to Najee Harris 30 times a game.
I mean, he got fucking injured. You know, they were trying to feed him.
No, I get it, but like you're not going to win a game like that. Dudes are going to stack 8 in the box. Yes, Deontay Johnson is a monster. That catch was spectacular.
Yeah,
that was like one of the best catches like we've seen. Like, and it didn't get enough publicity. Big Ben spoke about that. But bro, Trubisky's not taking you to the promised land. I'm sorry. I don't think Trubisky's going to outduel Lamar and Harbaugh and the Ravens defense. And I just think I think this is the year for the Ravens I think the Ravens are going to make a run. I really think the AFC Championship game could be in between the Bills, Ravens, and Chiefs for those 3 teams. I think the Ravens are going to put it together this year because Lamar wants that money. He wants that Deshaun Watson money. He turned down $290. You know, he wants that guaranteed money, which I respect it. I have to respect it because
dudes are getting paid. It's not like people. Nobody's gotten $290. Like people, every sport.
Bro, and that's what I'm saying. And he was an MVP. Yeah. This dude's an MVP. This dude has no off the field issues. Yeah. He's a hard worker.
Surprisingly, I mean, like he's posting shit in like Florida. He's like a little jit. He's just fucking doing crazy shit. We're hanging out with Kodak and no problems. Man.
Nothing, bro. He's
under 27. What is he? He's 26.
Not even. Mm-hmm. He's got to be like 25, 24.
I love Lamar. I think he's great. He just a lot of people just, the running back, this and that. Like, he's not a quarterback. He can't throw. I think he's got a good arm, and I think he's just got to get his decisions locked down, and they also have to get a locked in number 1 receiver.
Yeah, they
seems as if nobody wants to play with him.
Yeah, I mean, they really got to bring someone to help him out. Like, Mark Andrews is a stud,
of course,
but he's not gonna take you guys to the promised land. He's not gonna be that number 1 option. You need a receiver, and I mean, maybe Bateman could be it this year. Bateman had a good first game against the Jets.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, we'll see, bro. Bateman, he was a first-round draft pick or second-round draft pick.
Yeah, he was early.
Bro, they picked. You know what I mean? Like, receivers usually come out of nowhere.
Yeah.
And dudes will just have a monster year. I mean, I could see Bateman having 85-plus catches this year for 1,100 yards, 7 touchdowns,
I mean, you're seeing a lot of wide receivers going in the first, second, third round now. It's more than ever.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like pick of the litter though. There's so many of them. There's so many players to pick from nowadays. It's like whoever wants to play, fucking put them in, man. It's whoever works harder than the next guy. Put them in.
I mean, the only thing that does scare me with the Ravens is the J.K. Dobbins situation where they list it as torn ACL, but J.K. Dobbins tore his ACL, he tore his LCL, he tore his meniscus, his lateral meniscus, and he tore part of his hamstring off of the bone. So people just say, "Oh, he tore his ACL, 10 months and he's back."
It's not just that.
Nah, like, bro, he had some serious damage done to his, his knee, and he did not look good in training camp and practice and the preseason.
And now he's not playing.
Yeah, he's not ready to go.
Starting,
So that's going to be big for them to get him back, and who knows if he'll ever be the same again. Because, bro, J.K. Dobbins is really good rookie year.
He was solid. I mean, also, plug this, but Kenyon Drake's on the waiver wire. Some, people pick him up and, get him on your roster because he's legit.
Gus Edwards is still out.
Yep.
Kenyon Drake. Yeah, that's what I mean. To dive into that, we could talk about some, waiver wire pickups for this weekend. You're looking at guys. Elijah Mitchell went down. Najee Harris is, questionable with that injury. They say he's okay, but you never know.
He had a pre-existing injury before, before the season started. So it's not, it's not a surprise really. It's really not. But
so I mean, some pickups I'm looking at for the week, like on the waiver wire. Obviously, Jeff Wilson for San Francisco. I'm looking at Duvernay, who scored 2 touchdowns for the Ravens.
Another Baltimore guy, yep.
I'm also looking at I like Robbie Anderson. I think he had a very down year last year, and the year before that, Robbie Anderson was a stud.
Yeah,
and I think with Teddy Bridgewater, and I think Robbie could have a nice connection with Baker.
Yep. He's a speedy guy. He's a deep threat. He's got good hands. He doesn't really drop the football. He's he's like the guy that's like you don't pay attention to him for 1 second, fucking you're down 7, straight up.
100%. Yeah. So those are the guys I was trying to add this week. Three of my I had added. I also added Sterling Shepard. I dropped Galladay, who I picked in the 15th round, and I added Sterling Shepard. I feel like that's a guy that could break out for the Giants because when he's healthy, bro, he's a baller. Sterling Shepard is a baller.
I agree with you.
And it seems like Daniel Jones, that's the only guy Daniel Jones can throw to. If he's not giving the ball to Saquon, Sterling Shepard is the only guy he can get the ball to.
He's all reliable for sure.
Yeah.
I got like Rex Burkhead. Rex Burkhead's gonna be a solid guy. I mean, we talked about it before. Dameon Pierce is just, still young. He's first game, but Rex Burkhead showed to have more touches. He showed to have more promising runs and more meaningful runs and receptions. So Rex Burkhead's on everybody's waiver wire.
He's owned in a decent amount of leagues.
No,
already.
Of course, but those 10-man leagues, even some 12-man leagues. He's on the way. He was on my waiver wire for a bunch of my leagues, but it's a lot of these guys, we don't really hear much about all these reports and everything. But there's guys that are working harder than these young guys that are speculated to be great. All these draft picks going and this and that. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of guys that are, more hungry than these young studs that are coming out that people think are amazing. And, there's still guys in the league that are, willing to perform better than these guys.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, that's usually the guys that help you win your league is the guys you make additions with throughout the year in free agency and you get on the waiver wire. Those are the guys that take you over the edge that turn into a starting guy for you that you didn't have to use a draft pick on.
Yeah.
And they outperform a guy that you picked in the 5th or the 6th round. Mm-hmm. And, that's just always how it is. I remember, the past few years, I had Mike Davis when he went crazy. Last year, I forgot who I picked up, but they were a huge addition to my team, and they were my starting running back.
There's always people, man. There's always people, or even just late round draft picks, like a couple of years back steals. When DK was a rookie, when AJ Brown was a rookie. They came into the league and they just started eating. They don't give a fuck. It's sometimes people are just ready for it. They're they're built different, truly. But
no, I agree. I think this was a bunch of key additions to people's teams that are going to win some football games, over the next couple of weeks for fantasy. Yeah. I saw, what are your thoughts on this? I saw this idea about fantasy football because they was like, yo, in fantasy, you talk to your friend about your team, they talk to you. They was like, realistically, neither of you give a shit about either of who you got. So they said, how about we do it, 8 teams, but there's 3 owners of each team. So me, you, and one other person would own a team, and we collectively draft. We collectively use, free agents,
you really
trades.
Like somebody, pick them.
So he's like, imagine a Sunday, and you're watching football with your 2 other teams, and you're watching Red Zone, and your guy scores. Like,
dude, you're gonna be so hyped. Yeah. It's like putting a bet in with somebody.
No, exactly.
You're so excited. The hype will be different.
And that could be like a $300. Say for like a regular $100 league. That would be a $300 buy-in per team. Yeah. Say you did 8 or 10.
That's 24 men.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. So that's why everyone's putting a buy-in. That would be a cool.
I agree. I mean, it would also make it more. I don't know. It's like you guys have the same interest in the same players. You guys are both rooting for the same guys. rather than like, I mean, I root against people all day.
Yeah.
All day. I'm like, fuck this guy, fucking asshole, he fucking scored, don't give it to him. There's a lot of garbage time points. I'm motherfucking the TV all day.
Yeah.
So it's that would be fucking fun.
Yeah, that would be
a lot.
That'd be a good idea.
That's a really good idea.
That's the first time I've ever heard that from fantasy football.
Me too. That's awesome.
Yeah, it's tough. It's tough when you have guys on both sides. You know, like when you have multiple leagues. You might have one guy, but then you might be playing against him in the other league. So it's just tough to.
I mean, that's the struggle of playing more than 2 leagues. It's
That's why I try to keep it like 2 to 3. 2 to 3 is like.
I do 3. I've been invited. I literally this year I've been invited to 5.
Really?
I declined 2 and just took the 3. Obviously, I'm solidified in your league, my boys' league, whatever. Yeah. But it's ridiculous. You can't. It's literally playing against yourself the whole time. You're like, oh, I want that guy to do good, but I don't want him to do too good. I don't want him to get 30 plus. Just 22 is good enough.
Yeah, I want just enough to.
Yeah, it's to get me over, but like still not that guy. It's ridiculous.
Yeah. But to kind of get off fantasy and talk more, NFL season and stuff like that. We spoke earlier, kind of like after week 1, seeing what teams are really putting out there and seeing just, teams' dynamic and their chemistry and, who's your Super Bowl prediction, right, for the year? Like, who do you have?
I got Tampa Bay. And Tom Brady, he wins. They got a good defense. They got a great front 4, clearly. I mean, Akeem Hicks, if he can stay healthy, they're going to be freaking bodying people up front. They got I can't think of his name.
Akeem Hicks?
No, Akeem Hicks, and they got the Samoan guy.
Vita
Vea, yep. Yeah. So they got him. They're just monsters up front. Their defense is great. They just got to stay healthy on offense. Their offensive line's got to really, truly stay healthy. That's the main thing, but they have wide receivers out the ass. Russell Gage signed, Julio Jones signed.
Well, Chris Godwin hurt now.
Yeah, Chris Godwin's hurt, and, Mike Evans clearly, and, but Tampa Bay's got it. I mean, Devin White's also got to fucking put the team on his back. Last year, he was not.
No, he was not good.
What he was.
No, he wasn't, and he's not. Yeah, he wasn't that guy. I mean, Levante David is still the captain of that solid. Anchor of that defense. But Tampa Bay is another team that I kind of have going all the way as well. Like, not to, I said this in a previous episode, obviously for people that watch, I have Tampa and Buffalo as my Super Bowl prediction. And I just feel like Brady, with kind of the whole offseason and everything that happened, I think he's just going to have another spectacular year, probably, 4,600 yards, 35 plus touchdowns, under 10 interceptions.
Yeah.
And I think Tampa, bro. I think Julio is going to shock a lot of people.
Me too.
I think Julio is going to have a monster year. I think he'll have over 800 receiving yards, probably 7 plus touchdowns. Mike Evans is Mike Evans. The only thing that does concern me is Tom Brady. Loves his entire career. He's loved to use his tight end. He doesn't really have a tight end. He has Cameron Brady, he has Kyle Rudolph, but those aren't real safety nets where Brady feels comfortable getting them the ball. I mean, you saw week 1, he really didn't go to them that often.
Yeah, not at all.
Yeah.
So. I mean, they lost O.J. Howard as well.
Right.
He was, when Gronk wasn't there, for, the weeks that he was hurt, he liked O.J. Howard. He loved Cameron Brate. Hopefully Cameron Brate could, step into that role. I mean, obviously he's not going to be Gronk level because, in my opinion, Gronk is the best of all time. But, hopefully someone will step up. I mean, they got Rashard White, who's a receiving back. They got Lenny, they got Leonard Fournette. But I just think that offense, like, it just doesn't stop. I mean, they're going to keep going. I think Julio will have a great season. I don't even think it's about the stats with Julio. I think he's just going to be such a game changer. I mean, you saw that deep throw that catch was fucking nuts. Laid out, grabbed. So I think Julio, other than just the stats, he's going to just have such an impact on the field at all times. I mean, he's savage.
Yeah, no, Julio's a legend, and Tom is definitely going to get the ball in his hands.
Yeah, he's like a fringe Hall of Famer, Tom Brady. He's the GOAT, man. It's crazy that we're saying this in 2022, that, we think Tom Brady's going to win the Super Bowl again for the 8th fucking time.
Yeah.
But you love to see it. I'm just honestly glad that we got to witness, history in our generation. Truly, that's why I respect LeBron so much. That's why I respect Tom Brady so much. Even like D. Henney. Hopefully, maybe one day he'll amount to be the best. I'm not saying over some guys, but one of the best, one of the goats. That would be amazing to see. I respect all the goats, in our era. But
100%. To kind of go back to what you're saying, you said you have Gronk as the best tight end of all time.
It's really him or Tony, in my opinion. I mean, Antonio Gates
you don't
is.
Think Kelsey is in that conversation yet?
Oh yeah, I mean he is. He definitely is. Yeah.
Bro, I think Kelsey is more talented than all of those guys.
Yeah.
Kelsey has better hands. Kelsey's a better route runner. Kelsey is faster.
Yeah, but what about his
more
blocking?
athletic.
His blocking isn't as good as Gronk's is, and
yeah, but probably not. But I mean, like when you rank all-time tight ends, like
Kelsey's in the combo.
But I'm saying, are you really going off of blocking, or are you going off of what they did as a receiver?
Of course, yes, you are going off of what they did as a receiver. But I truly believe Gronk, in my opinion, he is the most dominant out of all of those guys. Kelsey, let's just say he fucking finishes with 1,600 yards this season. Who knows? He could be the best. Yeah. No doubt about it. I mean, Kelsey's amazing.
He's strung together, 5,000-yard years in a row?
Nuts.
First time ever for a tight end. And, I mean, you could imagine what he's going to do this year without Tyreek Hill.
I mean, we saw week 1. He fucking ate up. He's a savage, dude.
Yeah, bro. Kelsey is he's one of my favorite players in the NFL. And I've been watching him and his brother's podcast. It's hysterical.
Jason Kelsey. They're just both. Their chemistry together is so great because I feel like they're like a little different. They're the same, but they're like the same dude, but they're so different. Yeah. It's amazing. It's good to see. Yeah. But you said you had Bills, Tampa Bay. I got Tampa Bay Chiefs. I think finally the matchup is gonna start. It's gonna happen.
You think Tampa's gonna beat the Chiefs again?
It's gonna be a great game. It's just I don't know. I don't know if I trust the Bills so much. I really don't. I don't know if I trust Josh Allen too much. They obviously have Diggs, but someone could lock up Diggs and take him out of the game, and then it's like, who is it?
Yeah,
Gabriel Davis. I mean, he obviously went crazy in the playoffs last year. He caught a touchdown week 1, but I don't put him in my. I don't have a lot of faith in him.
No, he's not proven yet. I mean, he's had some decent years, but Gabe Davis he's not a top 20 receiver in the NFL right now. No, not even close. So, I mean, the Bills are going to be a tough out every week though.
Yeah.
They have a lot of firepower, and this, it's hard to beat a team 3 times.
Yeah.
And the Chiefs have knocked off the Bills 2 times in the playoffs, so it's very hard to beat a team 3 years in a row, especially in a playoff setting. Yeah. And now, I mean, if it were to come down to an overtime game, obviously the new rule is in effect. Both teams get a possession in overtime. So, I mean, you can imagine what a game like that would have been if both teams just keep getting a possession. I mean, the score would have probably been 65-70 on some Madden shit, But we'll see, bro. I'm excited. This is, I'm really looking forward to this year. Yeah. And
but everything could change in the fucking snap of a finger. Yeah. That's why football is the best sport.
Everything is projections. All these are predictions and projections, and looking into the future. But
everything could change
this week. Someone could go down, or something could happen. A trade could happen. Who knows what could happen?
Yeah. I mean, every Dallas fan I know is, this is their year. They were saying. Right. I mean, fuck out of here.
Yeah, it's never gonna be Dallas' year. It's never gonna be Dallas' year. Everyone's a Dallas fan from
until Jerry Jones passes like Queen Liz, but it's I don't think anything's gonna change. Truly, I think Jerry Jones is all about the money rather than actually having a good football team.
Yeah, I mean, watching a lot of podcasts, a lot of dudes in the NFL, they do respect Jerry because they say he keeps it real. Yeah. He's a good dude. He tells guys what it is. He doesn't sugarcoat shit. And he's just a very well respected. Everyone always has good things to say about Jerry. A lot of the media guys, like to shit talk Jerry.
Yeah.
Especially when they're coming at Skip Bayless, who's a huge Dallas fan. So I mean, whatever.
It's also easy too. It's easy. I mean, I just threw a couple jabs at him.
Right.
It's easy too.
Yeah. I mean, we can kind of just wrap up with some, stardom sit-ems for the week.
Yeah, I'm down, man. I got for quarterback, I got start Stafford. He clearly didn't do as well as he, was projected to last week. I think he's going to come out and give us a good game. And then I got sit him Lamar Jackson. Yeah, I don't think Lamar is going to go crazy. Lamar is going to have an off week. And just, yeah.
I think, I don't know about that. I mean, at least for quarterbacks, I'm thinking I like the Lamar matchup against Miami.
Yeah.
Lamar is from South Florida.
Mm.
He's shown interest in the Dolphins and stuff like that. So I feel like he does have something a little to prove right here.
I just think I'm sorry to cut you off, but the defensive backs from Miami, they just have the number 2 defense that they killed the Pats last week.
Yeah.
But I really think the Dolphins are nah. I mean, you wearing the shirt. They're not to fuck with this year. I think they're legit. I'm not a big fan of Tua, but I really truly believe they're gonna do well. They're gonna win a wild card spot because the Bills clearly are in the division, but they're gonna do well this year.
You think they're gonna get a wild card spot with the AFC West?
Yeah, dude. But
they're not going to get
crazy.
They're not going to get a wild card spot. The Finns might win 9 to 10 games. They're not going to win a wild card spot. There's going to be 3 teams from that AFC West that make it, and I truly think Denver's going to be last place in that division.
It's possible.
I personally think it's going to go Chiefs, Chargers, Raiders, Denver.
Yeah, I think that it's going to be depending on how the division rivals go. If Oakland, if the Raiders, don't do well in the division, that's 6 games.
Yeah.
And same with Denver, 6 games. I think 2 of them will fall off. A little under, 7 and 10, and then the second team going 11 and 6, But I think that that's going to be a little cutoff from the second team, the Chargers and the Chiefs. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, there might be, but I just really can't. I really truly see 3 teams coming out of that division in the playoffs. I don't see anyone from because I think the Bills are going to sweep the East.
Yeah.
In the AFC South, I mean, who knows who it's going to be? The Titans and the Colts both started with a loss.
Yeah.
And then a tie, and then the Jaguars lost. The AFC North is going to be a tough division. That could be, Pittsburgh is going to play everyone tough.
Yeah.
But it could just be, Cincinnati and Baltimore fighting for that top spot. And then obviously, like we said, we had the AFC West. So I don't know. I mean, it's going to be a fight, but I don't see the Dolphins making the playoffs this year. I think they'll have a solid year, but I don't think they're going to make the playoffs.
Yeah, they're going to surprise some people. In my opinion, I think they're going to. I don't know. I feel like they could go 10-7 and really, go 4-2 in the division, beat New England again. I don't think they're gonna beat the Bills. Maybe once, maybe if they get lucky, but they're gonna beat the Jets twice. I hate to say it, but I think so. Yeah. And they can squeak a wild card out.
Yeah, no, I agree.
There's also an extra wild card team as well.
Yeah, seven teams.
Super wild card weekend.
Yeah. I mean, my stardom quarterback for the week, I got Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah.
I think Aaron Rodgers is going to come out. The Green Bay always comes out slow. I think he's still trying to get a feel for his receivers. And, sometimes he is a little petty where, Christian Watson dropped that deep ball and he didn't kind of look at him for the rest of the game. He didn't really look at Dubes that much. But I think as they kind of create some more chemistry, he didn't play in the preseason. I think Rodgers is going to come out week 2 and ball out. He might throw for 400 and 4 touchdowns. I think they got to implement Aaron Jones a little bit more. It seemed like they're using A.J. Dillon a little bit more. So we'll see. But I think, Aaron Rodgers is my stardom quarterback this week. And, a guy that I kind of want to sit is, what's his name?
Team.
Derek Carr.
Yeah.
I did not like what he did last week. For a lot of people in 12 or 14-man leagues, Derek Carr is probably a starting quarterback. I think we need to give them another week or 2 to figure it out. And it just seemed like he was kind of force-feeding Devontae. They really don't, Renfro wasn't that much involved. He had a very quiet game.
And Darren Waller as well.
Yeah, Darren Waller, he had a big play over the top, but I think Derek Carr needs to kind of figure it out on how to distribute the ball a little better to all three guys, because it seemed like he was really just looking for Devontae, and that hurt Renfrow, because last year Renfrow was a guy that was, like a poor man's Cooper Kupp.
I mean, dude, he was great. Amazing. His route running was like, second to none but Cooper Kupp. But it's I don't know. I agree with you. I think Derek Carr, he's gonna force feed the fuck out of Devontae more than Aaron Rodgers did, and that's crazy to say because Devontae's had like 1,500 plus. But I totally agree with you. They have no running game. Yeah. Josh Jacobs doesn't do shit.
Yeah.
And I don't know if that has to do with the whole line or he's just not seeing, as his ball carrier vision all out of whack. But I don't see, them doing anything without a running game. It really matters.
Yeah. I mean, talking about running game, I mean, my stardom this week, obviously you're going to start him, but, I mean, I'm high on Saquon.
Yeah.
I think Saquon is going to ball out. Like, this guy could finish as a top 3 running back with him, Jonathan Taylor, and, and my other guy is DeAndre Swift. I think those are going to be the top 3 backs this year. I truly do. And if McCaffrey stays healthy, I think he's going to, pull it out and be that top 5 back again. But I'm thinking Saquon is going to go crazy again, and this should be an exciting week. The Giants are playing Carolina. It's going to be McCaffrey versus Saquon. There's going to be a lot of big plays, a lot of exciting plays. Should be high scoring.
Yeah.
It's going to be a real high scoring week. And then, my sit him back is if you're rocking with Travis Etienne, I'm thinking until you see otherwise, it's hard to start that guy.
Yeah.
Luckily, I'm on the other end of it. I have James Robinson, so I'm going to start James Robinson this week. And but until Etienne shows, what he's capable of, and Trevor Lawrence missed him on 2 touchdowns over the top, overthrew him.
Yep.
And I don't know. We've been talking about this guy for 2 years, and I know he got hurt, and I got to see something to feel like to start him, because people picked Etienne in the 3rd and the 4th round.
Yeah.
That is a guy
He's a number 2.
Yeah. He's an RB2, and I don't know if you can start him this week if you have a reliable backup.
Yeah, I like it. I really do. I like Etienne. I mean, dude, Etienne, whatever his name is, it's a rough one for him, because James Robinson, I was even thinking that last year, like, how are they going to start somebody over this guy? He's a beast. I mean, he has a little trouble fumbling the ball, whatever, but he's a fucking monster. He runs the ball exceptionally well. He could catch the ball as well. And I don't know what the whole hype was over Etienne, but they got to get it going. It's James Robinson or what? I mean, obviously a lot of teams are going, split back. They're, I mean, 2 running backs is like the new fad. But for my stardom, sit-em, I got start A.J. Dillon. Rodgers is going to go with people that he trusts. I mean, you could say, like you just said.
Yeah.
I can't think of his name. Christian
Watson.
Christian Watson. He dropped that pass. He missed them, whatever. But A.J. Dillon is going to get burned. He's going to get touches. He's a monster. And then for sit-em, I got Cam Akers.
Yeah.
Cam Akers, for clear reasons. He had 3 touches, no yards. When he was out there, it looked like he didn't know what was going on. No. It looked like Stafford had to tell him what to do and tell him what position to run in and where he's going. And there's no sense of urgency.
Yeah.
I mean, at the end of the day, it's like, you're an NFL running back. Get it fucking going.
Did you see that block he missed?
Yeah.
Just Olayed him.
How do you miss it? Like, no sense of urgency. If you don't want to play, I don't blame Sean McVay. I was shit talking him last week because I was upset. He had 0 points. Yeah. But at the end of the day, it's like, what are you gonna do? You gotta have some sense of urgency. Act like you want the spot. No, it's not gonna be given to you on a silver platter.
Oh, I agree. And then my stardom receiver is this week. I'm thinking Sterling Shepard. I'm really thinking Sterling Shepard is a guy that you could start as your flex this week if one of your guys, if you had an Elijah Mitchell, if you had someone that went down, a Tony Pollard that you might want to sit this week.
Yeah.
I think Sterling Shepard is going to have another big week. I think he's hungry. He's been kind of hurt and on and off the field the past 2 years. And I think Sterling Shepard is going to have a big week against Carolina, who, their secondary is pretty,
a little wishy-washy.
Yeah, like, bottom 20 secondary in the
They're on the field a lot.
And bro, they have some guys. You got J.C. Horn,
Brian Burns, they got
Brian Burns coming off the edge. You got Jeremy Chin, Dante Jackson. So they do have some pieces, but it just seems like Carolina's defense can never really put it together, especially their secondary.
Yeah.
So I could see Sterling Shepard having a big week this week. He only had, I think, 3 catches for 60 yards and a touchdown last week, but I think he's just getting his feet wet again.
Yeah.
And then, sit him would be, I'm thinking Thielen.
Yeah.
I'm thinking Adam Thielen. For a lot of people, that's that's their wide receiver 2 or their flex. And I don't know if he's going to get the the targets that he once got. He's getting older. He's battled a bunch of injuries. And Justin Jefferson is just on another level. And it doesn't even seem like Kirk Cousins is feeding him. It just seems like, this guy's wide open.
And he's getting it. He's getting it himself.
Yeah.
He's running after the catch. He's just doing it all on his own. He's amazing. He's incredible.
Yeah, I feel like he's going to steal a lot of shine from Thielen this year, a lot of touches, because it's like I'd rather, the ball in Justin Jefferson's hands in the open field rather than Thielen.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Thielen's a great, touchdown threat and everything,
Yeah.
but I agree with you. It's those touch. How many receptions did J. Jeff have?
8.
Yeah,
8 for 164 and 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, he's going to do that like 7 times this year. Yeah. It's ridiculous. That guy's on another level.
Yeah.
For my stardom sit-em, I got Drake London. Drake London, he had 5 receptions. He had 7 targets. He had 74 yards. That's 85 catches and 1,000 yards. Not counting touchdowns if he has like 5+ touchdowns. But the guy came out rookie. He came out playing well, and Mariota is the quarterback too. It's they just lost Matt Ryan, so I think he's a very serviceable wide receiver. He's a monster on the field. He's humongous. So he's going to get some burn, and, he's going to get some catches. He's going to get some targets. I think he's a great stardom for this week, for week 2. If, like you just said, Elijah Mitchell was in your lineup, you need a flex, a plug and play. But I think Drake London is definitely one of those guys. For Sidham, I have this guy, but Rashad Bateman. He only had 2 receptions last week. He obviously had a deep bomb. He scored a touchdown. He did well, but, I don't think Miami's going to let him get anything.
Yeah.
I really I think that someone on the Ravens is going to do well. I don't think it's him though.
Yeah.
I really don't think it's him.
Yeah, I think Lamar is going to rely a lot on his feet this week.
Yeah.
I think Lamar, he only ran for 20 something yards, 19 yards against the Jets. He only had like 3 attempts. I think he didn't want to do too much. They kind of had the game in the palm of their hands from start to finish. There really wasn't much of a threat where he felt like he had to take off.
Yeah.
But I think this week Miami's defense is kind of going to get after him. The pass rush is going to be a little better. I think Lamar
is going to open it up.
Yeah, I think Lamar's going to run for 50 or 60 yards this week. He might have a rushing touchdown. I think they're going to implement a lot more. But it does hurt him not having Dobbins, not having Gus Edwards, because when they run, the option reads and stuff like that, it's not really a threat. They'll let Kenyon Drake get it, or whatever back they have in the backfield at the time.
Running is everything.
Who else? They have Mike Davis as well. Yeah. And like they're not worried about those guys, so they're just containing Lamar. That I would assume be the Dolphins' game plan is just try to limit Lamar and.
Yeah.
So, I can definitely see, Bateman, because the Dolphins secondary is very solid.
Yeah. I don't think their front seven's anything to write home about, but their secondary is actually fucking legit.
Yeah.
So, they just got to worry about containing him on the run. He could definitely run like crazy. He could get it done, but Bateman as a wide receiver start, if you have another guy, I would start Bateman. Not start Bateman.
Yeah.
For tight end, I'm going to go back to back, my bad.
Yeah,
but I got Dalton Schultz with Cooper Rush starting. I think he's going to rely a lot on the tight end, drag routes, out routes, play action.
Yeah.
I think he's going to, Dalton Schultz is going to get a couple catches and, go run. Go do what you got to do, go break some tackles. And then I got, for Sidham, I got Dawson Knox. I just don't see him being a factor in that offense. And truthfully, maybe he'll catch a couple touchdowns here and there, but Stephon Diggs runs that fucking offense. Gabriel Davis, we were just, I was just saying shit about him, but he's good. He's serviceable. And they got They got that little fast dude. They got
Isaiah McKenzie.
Isaiah McKenzie. I'm sorry. I fucking had a couple beers. I can't fucking think. But Isaiah McKenzie, speedy guy. You know, they got a bunch of dudes, man. I don't think Dawson Knox is going to be that big of a factor this season.
No. Yeah, you know, my stardom this week is Gerald Everett. Yeah. For the Chargers. I think he had a very solid week 1. He was efficient. 3 catches on 4 targets, 50-plus yards, a touchdown. Especially with Keenan Allen out this week, the tight end is always a safety net, and I'm sure the Chiefs are going to be worried about a lot of things over the top. So I think Gerald Everett can have another big week, and he might be a big red zone target.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Sidham is it would be I wanted to go Kyle Pitts, but a lot of people probably don't have another tight end that you can go over him. Mm-hmm. But I saw a lot of people this week like super high on OJ Howard. The guy had 2 catches with 2 touchdowns. Yeah. And I think people are buying real high on him, and I'm not too sold yet. Yeah. Davis Mills is a pretty solid quarterback, but I would not start OJ Howard yet. Yeah. If he can string together 2, 3, 4 weeks of this, then you could be like, okay, like this might be a guy that I should pick up or stash for a little while. But do not start this guy this week. Nah. Don't take a chance, especially they're playing Denver, who has a solid defense. They have a good secondary, good linebacker core. Yeah. I don't think O.J. Howard's going to put up, whatever he had, last week, 14, 15 points, and he was one of the high tight end guys, obviously other than Kelsey. Not many tight ends had big weeks.
And not a lot of the guys that you drafted early in the rounds did anything. Yeah. I think Kittle had 0.
He didn't play.
He didn't fucking play. I mean, my boy started him, but Darren Waller really didn't do much. Yeah. There's just a lot of guys. I mean, Dalton Schultz actually had a decent day at like 13 and a half points or whatever it was. But I mean, not a lot of the tight ends. Kelsey clearly showed himself as number 1 again. Still.
Yeah, so. I agree. But dope episode. I think we covered a lot. Yeah, I think that was really good.
Just duo, little duo joint. I like it.
Yeah, yeah. Next week, the next episode we'll have the whole crew on. Probably dive more into basketball. We'll probably try to give some predictions for the the East and the West, and the new young cores that are happening in the NBA, and have the whole crew back, Sam and Raul, so it'll be a nice episode. But I think we've made the collective decision as of right now. Chad's going to rock with us, and it's going to be another piece and another person to add to the team, and just another opinion, another person to debate with, and another knowledgeable sports mind. So,
yeah, of course. And I appreciate you guys having me on again, and for the weeks to come. I really do appreciate it. Listen, talking sports is like, it's fun for everybody. Mm-hmm. Especially when you love, spend hours and hours watching, looking at stats for no reason. You might as well do something with it at the end of the day. And I appreciate you guys, taking me on. But I love you, and I'm happy that we did this. Good man. Let's keep it rolling, man.
Yeah, good up. Good shit.
See you guys next week.